Well, I keep adding to my addiction. I just bought this tractor right here. I wanted to get it for the hood and the seat because they're pretty decent. And I just said, you know what? I'll offer you this amount of money for the tractor. It was like half what he wanted. Didn't think he'd take it. He goes, just get it out of my yard. I haven't done anything with it. I'm going to see if it'll start right up. So we'll look it over here real quick. I popped the hood. It does have the 21 horsepower Koehler Courage. I already have one of those. So the first thing I did when I checked this tractor out was I went like this. And I'm like, all right, it spins over. He said he just had recently changed the oil in it, but he thinks it has a compression issue. This is common with this motor where you think you have a compression issue, and it's actually either the battery or the starter. So I'm gonna throw a new battery in it. There's one thing when you buy these scrap tractors, everybody pulls the battery out. I get it. I'd pull the battery out too. I mean, they're only like 36 bucks, but any bit you can keep you want to. So he was kind of on the right track. He was changing a starter solenoid. Let's throw the battery in and see what it does. All right, so it's a brand new battery, never used. The thing with batteries I don't understand is they're cheap. It's like people struggle at changing the battery. Just change it. You can get them at like Walmart or Costco for like 30 bucks. Batteries are not a huge deal. It's more expensive to replace this motor than it is a battery. But a lot of people would rather sell their machine than buy a battery. It's weird to me. Maybe they just want new ones and it's a good excuse. I'll show you the main reason why I bought this in a minute. I didn't even buy it for a running tractor. I bought it for the hood, the key switch, and the seat. And I'll show you why. But let's see if it works. So he says what it does is it rolls over a little bit and then it stops. That's what it does right there. You hear that? So they think that's a compression issue. To me, that is a starter issue. You can hear it fire. I'll show you what it's doing, and I'm pretty sure it's a starter. I just hold the key. To me, that's the starter. Because you can hear it fire, and I kind of hear a little bit of electricity in there going. So we'll change the starter out. I'm like 95% confident it's a starter because this is so hot and it's sweating now that I can't even touch it. Because if I go there with it, and then I go like this, I shouldn't be able to turn it with my hand like that if it's bad compression. All right, you see how that solenoid is stuck into those gears with it not running? It's not supposed to be like that. Just tap it down. It's supposed to be down. Now we'll try it. I'll see if I can get this starter on there. I don't know if I can or not. This is a Craftsman with a blown up motor. Looks a little different, but maybe. All right, so I pulled the starter out. One of the things I noticed right away was that, oh, it's still so hot. This piece right here that slides up and down on this spring was stuck all the way out. So what that means is the entire time the motor's running, your starter's spinning. So it probably burnt up whatever's inside here. So I will have to get a new starter. I thought I had one, but they're just a little different. So I'm gonna see if I can WD-40 this a little bit, put it back on, see if it works. I don't think it's gonna, because I think with this just constantly spinning it's got 600 hours on it. So I'd imagine this is wore right out. But the reason why I bought that tractor is I bought this one that didn't run. It's got a 26 horsepower motor. So I threw a battery in it. I really wanted the seat and the hood because I have this hood here. This one a little nicer hood, but since I bought this one and it's just a starter, I'm no longer going to put the parts on this one. I'm just gonna fix that one and probably sell it or something. But one thing I noticed on this one was the gas line was broke at the tank. So I put a little makeshift tank on here and choked it, rolled it over, runs. So that was good with this. So I'll change the oil, clean this one up. Probably just salvage that hood. I'll still try to find a seat. Again, no cup holder. I'm going to be looking for a seat, but because I know I can get that other one running. If I can't, then I'll make one good one and sell parts. Unfortunately, I didn't grab video of me fixing the tractor. I should have. I wish I would have. But after diagnosis, I ended up wanting to check the valves just to see how they were set. While I was in there, I noticed the exhaust push rod was not moving to open the exhaust valve, which made me think there was so much pressure in the piston from the valve not opening. That's why it wouldn't spin over. One thing I noticed when I took the spark plug out, that the engine would roll over fine, but when I put the spark plug in, it wouldn't roll over. So that led me to believe that it was something with the compression. So I ended up pulling the block apart, which wasn't hard. I needed a flywheel puller to pull the flywheel off. I pulled everything apart, and I noticed that there was an arm inside the motor that held the push rod that was broken. I ended up Googling the type of motor, going to a parts store and buying the exact part I needed for the arm, and buying a new push rod, buying a new starter, and buying gaskets. I ended up putting everything back together, torquing everything to specs, putting my new starter on. I think the starter was like $60, maybe 50, and I might have had another 30 in parts. So probably just under $100 plus my time to diagnose it. And we were able to get it running, and then here we are cleaning it up.